Okay, Cosmos, let's go over this again. You were supposed to destroy the Hobbies with Jose coffee mug, not the actual Hobbies with Jose.
But it was so hard to tell who's who. They both wear the same faction symbol.
Look, one of them wears glasses, the other one does not. Simple, right?
Hey guys, what's up?
What? Oh, nothing. Just, shooting the breeze.
Shall I shoot him now?
No, not now.
Well, hey, welcome back to Hobbies with Jose. Today, we've got part 1 of our slight customization, mostly repaint, of Legacy Cosmos. Yeah, I know, it's a Christmas miracle, right? But sit back, grab some eggnog, and let's get this started, shall we? You ready, Super Cat?
Yeah, I guess.
Hey, why are you being all mopey, dude?
I'm not being mopey.
Okay, well, let's get started, shall we? Welcome back to the channel, everybody. So good to have you back. So, as always, we are going to start the disassembly process for our little figure. But of course, let's have a little conversation about what exactly we're going to be doing to this little guy. So, as I mentioned in my review, which I know you all saw, thank you very much, I do think this little guy is almost perfect, but he's not without a couple of issues, namely being the gaps he has in his arms, which we did solve with this third-party filler kit. Now, the only major issue still pending are the very loose shoulders. Now, what I think I'm going to do here, since I'm not going to disassemble the shoulder, it has a bit of a wide pin here, I'm just going to allow the paint to seep into the joint itself and see if that doesn't really naturally fix the issue. If it doesn't, towards the end of the build, I will take more drastic steps, but I think allowing paint to get in there should be enough. And of course, the filler kit also came with some parts for the back of the legs, which looks awesome, by the way. But some smaller sections that I still want to work on myself are this little section inside the thigh. I think it's small enough where it should be relatively easy to fill. And even though I mentioned I'm perfectly happy in having the weapons attached in UFO mode, I think I prefer a much cleaner look instead, so I'm going to go ahead and remove these and fill them in with putty as well. And lastly, we did have this really loose section that kind of moves with the smallest of force. I think that's mostly due to these tabs on the side not being large enough. I'm going to try and extend them a bit just by adding a bit of crazy glue, but I think I can also tighten up the joint itself. But that's really pretty much it, so let's go ahead and get this guy disassembled as much as we can anyways. Thankfully, the back of his head is screwed on, so I'm going to go ahead and start there. And of course, I do love that the eyes are a separate piece. That's going to make painting them a lot easier. Now, there are a couple more screws behind the torso, but I think before we hit those, I'm going to try to take care of this pin. And I am checking to make sure that I'm removing the end that has the grooved edges, which I think we got. And now that we have that pin removed, it looks like these two pieces can be separated. There you go. Which means, of course, we should be able to take this yellow piece off. And now I feel better working on those two screws. This is really interesting. I don't know why there's a pin in here since it's not part of any transformation. It just holds a green piece in place. And once again, any of the white pins, I'm just going to leave those alone. We do have a regular pin in here, and thankfully there's a molded hole on the other side so we can punch it out. Now it looks like the heel section itself is also on a regular pin, but unfortunately there's no exit hole on the other side for us to punch it in. We'd have to drill our own hole. This piece is so small though that I'm just going to leave it as is and just work around it. Easy. So we now have Cosmos pretty thoroughly disassembled. Again, I'm not really touching the white pins, we're leaving those as is, and I'm just going to work around them. But now we're going to be stripping the paint. And once again, I'll be using my handy paint stripper solution, which is 9 parts, 91% isopropyl alcohol, and 1 part lacquer thinner. So let's go ahead and get them dropped in. All right, we're gonna let them sit here for about a good 45 minutes. So we now have our pieces all cleaned up, and I'm gonna let them dry for about a day or so. I do, however, have some that I pre-dried myself. Again, on these arm sections here, I'm gonna go ahead and remove this peg hole, try to smooth it out as much as I can, and just fill it in with some putty. And for the legs, we have a small little section that I want to fill in with putty as well. I also didn't realize that there's a big gaping hole on the other side, so we'll take care of that as well. Now I did make sure to add a really good amount onto the peg hole. It's definitely going to contract as it dries, so I may actually need to go back and keep adding a little bit more throughout the week, but I think that should turn out pretty good. Well, there you have it, everyone. That's going to be it for us today. Next week, we'll go ahead and clean up all of the putty, start adding some primer, and maybe even some color as well.
Yeah, if you're into that sort of thing.
Hey, you've been mopey the whole day. What's wrong with you?
Well, ever since you got your logo bug, you haven't been using me as much.
Oh, is that what has you bothered? Look, I've been noticing the wear and tear on you, and honestly, I want you to last forever, buddy.
Really?
Yes, really. Hey, Merry Christmas, Super Cat.
Merry Christmas, Jose.
And from Super Cat and I to all of you and your loved ones, we want to wish you a happy holidays and a Merry Christmas. I will see you all next week. Take care.